Hello, welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric, and today we're going to play a game from May 3rd, 1967, as part of our 50th anniversary of the Impossible Dream season. Today we'll be featuring the Detroit Tigers visiting the Chicago White Sox. The Chicago White Sox are currently 11-5, and the Detroit Tigers are 9-7. On the mound for the Detroit Tigers is Denny McLain, and on the mound for the Chicago White Sox is Gary Peters. Gary Peters has a record of 2-0 with a 1.37 ERA, 26 and a third innings pitched, 16 hits, 15 walks, and 15 Ks and 7 walks. Normally the stats are the other way around with walks before strikeouts, but not an inside pitch. He was 16-11 on the regular season with a 2.28 ERA, so had a very good season overall and is off to a great start this season. Thus, the White Sox as a team are off to a great start, 11-5. So he'll be going up against a Detroit lineup of Mickey Stanley batting first and playing center field. Dick McAuliffe, the second baseman, bats second. Don Wirt, the third baseman, third. Hall of Famer Al Kaline batting fifth and playing right field. The batting sixth, the left fielder Jim Northrup. Well, as you can see, he had a very rough start. I think he was 0 for 35 or 36, somewhere around there before he got his first hit. So I think he's still batting below 100, although he's getting close to that. I think he got a couple hits in his last game. Bill Freeman, the catcher, bats sixth. Norm Cash, the first baseman, bats seventh. Batting eighth, Dick Trusowski. He's in for the injured Ray Euler. He's been injured for the last, 8 or 10 games, somewhere around there. And batting ninth and pitching, Denny McLain. For the Detroit Chicago White Sox, Gary Peters will be on the mound. And we'll get to the Chicago lineup when they come up to bat. So Mickey Stanley's hitting also to an awful start. He's hitting .063. Just in 16 at bats with just 1 RBI. So let's get this game underway. And he'll ground out to Weiss for the first out. Batting second will be Dick McAuliffe. Hitting .212 with a homer and 3 runs batted in. And he will strike out. So 2 up and 2 down for the Tigers. Don Wirt hitting .286. With 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. .51, which would be a strikeout possibility. No. 5-2. And this is just for the record, this is the deepest I've gotten into a inside pitch season. Almost a month in now, or like I said, the 3rd of May of the 1967 season. All right, so 1, 2, 3 go the Detroit Tigers, and Denny McLain will be on the mound. Has a record of 2-1 with a 2.23 ERA, 28 and a third innings pitched, 20 hits, 7 walks, and 24 strikeouts. In actuality, it was 17-16 with the ERA of 3.79. So he's off to a good start. So this should prove to be a good pitching matchup. So for the Chicago White Sox, we have Don Buford playing third base, batting first. Wayne Causey, the second baseman, bats second. Tommy Agee, the center fielder, will bat third. Pete Ward will bat cleanup and play left field. Tommy McGraw will be the first baseman and bat fifth. Ken Berry, the right fielder, bats sixth. Batting seventh will be J.C. Martin, the catcher. Batting eighth, Al Weiss, the shortstop, And on the mound, batting ninth, will be Gary Peters. So Denny McLain will face Don Buford first. He's hitting .284 with no homers and 4 runs batted in. And we have our first hit of the game by Don Buford. And he will attempt to steal. And he will make it. Alright, next up will be Winning Comiskey, hitting .212. With no homers and 4 runs batted in. So Ronnie gets his lead off a second. And he will walk Comiskey. So the first 2 runners reach for the White Sox. Tommy A.G. will be up now. Hitting .254 with 2 homers and 7 runs batted in. Also has 3 stolen bases. And he'll strike out. Alright, next up will be Pete Ward. Off to a great start, hitting .371 with no homers and 6 RBIs. And he will fly out to right. Runners cannot advance. Alright, next up will be Tommy McGraw. Also off to a great start. Hitting .404 with 4 runs batted in. The production numbers aren't there yet. So as you can see, the White Sox are off to a good start, average-wise, with a lot of their hitters. Thus the 11-5 record. And he will ground out to third. So the White Sox get the first 2 runners on, but the Tigers are able to hold them in check. Alright, next up will be Al Kaline. Hitting .266 with 2 homers and 12 runs batted in. And he will fly out to center for the first out. As you can see, Jim Northrup has hit 100. So he's hitting just 100 with 2 RBIs. Starting to dig himself out of a pretty big hole. However, this time he does strike out. Alright, 2 down now for Bill Freehan, the catcher. Off to a great start. .377 with 3 homers and 9 runs batted in. He will strike out this time. Alright, so we head to the bottom of the second. Still no score. Ken Berry will lead it off for the White Sox. Hitting .200 with a homer and 5 runs batted in. And a line out to first. 1 down. J.C. Martin, the catcher, will be up for the White Sox. Hitting .238 with no homers and 2 runs batted in. And he'll ground out to second for the second out. Shortstop Al Weiss will come to the plate next. Hitless in 14 at-bats. Still looking for his first RBI. And ground out to second to retire the side.
Have you picked your designated driver for this evening? Please remember to drink responsibly.
Alright, Norm Cash will come to the plate now. Hitting .255 with 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. And he will strike out. All right, Dick Tracewski. And hitting in place of Euler, who is on the DL. Hitting .235 and 34 at-bats with 2 homers and 3 runs batted in. And a fly out to center to retire the side. All right, the pitcher Denny McLain comes up now. Hitless in 8 at-bats. One up and one down. Oh, that's actually the end of the inning. Gary Peters come up to the plate now. 222 with no homers and no RBIs. Does not strike out. Flies out to left for the first out of the bottom of the third. Don Buford, 1 for 1. Flies out to left for the second out. Wayne Kazi walked his first time up. And flies out to right to retire the side. So we played 3 full with no score. This is shaping up to be a good pitcher's duel, as it was in real life. All right, Mickey Stanley up now, 0 for 1. Not getting a lot of strikeouts on these K pluses, not as much as usual. One up and one down. His 4th strikeout of the day for Peters. Possible error check. And it will be an error on the pop-up by Kazi. He drops the ball. It'll be a 1-base error, so allowing McAuliffe to reach. So 1-out base runner for the Tigers. Don Wirt comes to the plate, 0 for 1. And it's a base hit. McAuliffe stops at second. So runners on first and second with 1 out for Al Kaline. See what he can do here. Does not strike out that often. Instead he grounds out to third. Can they turn 2? We're going to go for the double play. And they are able to turn 2. So, Kaline hits into an inning double play. Tommy Agee up now. And he will walk.
Good base on balls.
All right, 2-5. All right, grounded at first. 1 down. Runner advanced to second. So runner on second with 1 out for Tommy McGraw. 0 for 1. And a fly out to right, and AG will tag and move to third. Alright, so 2 down, runner on third for Ken Berry. See if he can knock in the first run of the game. Here a possibility. Ground ball to the pitcher. And McLain is able to handle it. And still no score. heading to the top of the 5th. Jim Northrup up now is dipped below 100. Then struck out his first time up. And a strikeout again. Bill Freehan up now. Struck out his first time up also. Range play. Buford's able to handle it. Throws it over to McGraw. 2 down. Norm Cash struck out his first time up. Another range play.
In the air, down the left field side. This is going to be a tough play.
And Ward's able to make the catch. Martin, Weiss, and Peters will be up for the White Sox. And Martin will reach. Al Weiss up now. Not a great bunter. That's probably why they're not having him bunt now. And the pitcher spot's coming up next. But he does have himself a hit. So Martin will advance. And Weiss is caught in a rundown. So roll is greater than the runner's speed. Advance for others. If roll is less than or equal to base runner, the runner is out and the others advance. So Martin is going to come around the score. First run, and Weiss is thrown out. So Weiss is able to get that run across by staying in the rundown long enough. So pitcher Gary Peters is up now. And he'll fly out to left for the second out. Don Buford, 1 for 2. And he'll draw a walk. It's the 4th walk allowed by McLain, so he's been a little bit wild. Range play. And Stanley cannot make the catch. Buford holds at second. Tommy Agee walked. 0 for 1 with a walk. And he'll walk again. So it's 5th walk by McLain. Load the bases with 2 outs. Some action in the Detroit bullpen. And his defense lets him down. Northrup is not able to make the catch. And 2 runs will come in. And Agee will advance the 3rd on the throw, and Pete Ward will advance the 2nd on the throw also. Oh, it looks like they're going to try a steal of home. Agee's going to try it. And he's tagged out by Freeman. But the White Sox do come up with 3 runs. And after 5 full, lead at 3-0. Gary Peters will face Trusowski first. 0 for 1. Now trailing 3-0 are the Tigers. And he flies out to center. Let's see. I think we'll let McLain hit. Still got a little bit of gas left in the tank. He flies out to right for the second out. Mickey Stanley up now. And he have himself his first hit of the day. 2-out single. Dick McAuliffe. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Ooh, he avoids the 18 strikeout with a 19 roll. But he grounds out the 3rd to retire the side. Alright, so McGraw, Barry, and Martin will be up against McLain. And he grounds back to McLain for the first out. Ken Barry up now, 0 for 2. Grounds out the short. Martin up now. Scored the first run. Oh, home run possibility here. And he does. So Martin goes yard.
It may go! Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! It's a home run!
His first home run of the year. He only hit 4 in the whole season, but he hits 1 today. And the White Sox extend their lead to 4-0. Himself a hit. Let's see. Is Peter's going to stay in and hit for himself? Oh, yeah, he's got plenty of gas left. And he will strike out. The White Sox add another run, and after 6 full, lead at 4-0. Darn Wart will lead it off, 1 for 2 against Peters. Peters pitching a fine game, has only allowed 2 hits and struck out 5. Hasn't allowed a walk yet.
You're out!
And Wart will fly out to right for the first out. Al Kaline up now, 0 for 2. Range play at Comiskey Park.
Hard ground ball at the middle.
Kazi's able to handle it. Flips over to McGraw.
Takes the hit away.
2 down. Jim Northrup up now. Struck out both times today. Ooh, avoids the 3rd strikeout there. Let's see what he can do. Steady flies out to right to retire the side. It's a 7th inning stretch. White Sox lead it by a score of 4-0. Alright, and McLain will head to the locker room. And Larry Sherry is going to come in to take his spot. Well, maybe not. Maybe there is no Larry Sherry. Let's see. No Larry Sherry. Johnny Padres. Johnny Padres will come in. We're facing a switch hitter and a lefty, so they bring in the lefty. And we'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back, and oddly enough, Johnny Padres is just making his first start of the year. His first relief appearance of the year. It's 3-1 with a record of 3.84 with 1 save, 63 1/3 innings pitched, 58 walks, 58 hits, 9 walks, and 34 strikeouts. He'll face Don Buford first, the top of the order. It's 1 for 2 with a run scored. And a fly out to Kaline for the first out. Wayne Causey up now. Lefty on lefty. And a ground out to 3rd for the second out. Tommy Agee up now. Grounds out to 3rd to retire the side. So we go to the top of the 8th with the White Sox in front. 4-0. Bill Free and the catcher up now. 0 for 2. Peter's still looking strong.
You're out!
Grounds back to Peters for the first out. Norm Cash 0 for 2. Grounds out to short for the second out. So Peters is cruising right along here. Flies up to center, and that'll retire the side. So we head to the bottom of the 8th. Padres back on the mound. Pete Ward up 1 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. Grounds out back to Padres. Tommy McGraw out now 0 for 3. Fouls one off. Grounds it to short. Trosowski throws it over to Cash. 2 down. Ken Berry also 0 for 3. Detroit's managed only 2 hits on the day. Peters is pretty much, we're actually, the White Sox have managed only 6 hits themselves, so not much better, but do have 4 runs to show for it. A lot of walks there for Detroit pitching. And strikes him out, so we head to the top of the 9th. So last chance. Last chance here for the Tigers. So we'll get a pinch hitter for Padres. Oops. Jim Price, backup catcher, will come in. Hitting .250 on the season. 4 at bats, 1 for 4 with a run scored. And ground out to Weiss for the first out. So the Tigers are down to their last 2 outs, and as we said before, they've only managed 2 hits on the day. Mickey Stanley has 1 of them. And this time he grounds out to second. So 1 more out. And the Chicago White Sox will have a victory. Dick McAuliffe 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Peters looks for the sign, winds up in the pitch. And he will strike out to end the game. So the Chicago White Sox shut out the Detroit Tigers by a score of 4-0. Gary Peters gets the win, improves to 3-0. Denny McLain the loss, 2-2. 1 home run by J.C. Martin, the catcher, for the Chicago White Sox. Solo shot. All right, like I said, not much going on for the Tigers. Hits only by Stanley and Wirt. That's it. Both of them were singles, yeah. Pete Ward 1 for 4 with a couple RBIs. J.C. Martin a solo home run. But the story was Gary Peters on the mound. 9 complete game 2-hitter. No walks and 6 strikeouts, so excellent. Lowered his ERA to 1.02. Danny McLain, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits. 4 earned runs. His downfall was his walks. He walked 5. 2 strikeouts and a lot of home run. ERA goes up to 2.89, so still respectable, but suffers a loss here. So that's it here from Chicago, Comiskey Park. Thank you for joining us on the May 3rd, 1967 game from our 50th anniversary of the Impossible Dream. So join us next time in the May 4th game, where we're going to feature the... I'm trying to think who I had. I know it's the Los Angeles Dodgers are playing somebody. Can't think of who offhand who they're playing. But anyway, join us in the next game. Look like a really good pitching matchup. Let me just check here who will be playing tomorrow. Oop, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I believe it's the Pittsburgh Pirates against the Chicago White Sox. Los Angeles Dodgers. Yeah, Los Angeles Dodgers visiting the Pittsburgh Pirates. Will be Bob Veal on the mound for the Pirates against, I think it's Don Drysdale. Yeah, Don Drysdale for the Dodgers. So that should be a good pitching matchup. So join us in that next game. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.